Hello and welcome back to Eagle Rising, and we're going to be attempting to take Uthelaim Castle in the first part of this episode. Now, you can see here that there is a person in there. There's Mr. Carrix of the wolf skins, and I don't think he's going to be too difficult for us to deal with, because as we know, minor factions, not that powerful. I have just, however, realized upon looking at my HP and my party's status that I currently do not have a huge amount of food, so that is obviously going to be a little bit of a shall we say, bump in the road as we progress onward. But the great thing about this particular siege, apart from the fact that it is indeed relatively, I would say I feel like it's quite problematic, this one, because I think this used to be a Battanian town or Battanian castle. And for me personally, I really do not like besieging Battanian towns. I don't know, I just do not like them one bit. I feel like they're very difficult to actually have succeed when it comes to this strategy. So, for example, I feel like you are probably going to need a little bit of an extra push. You're going to need something else, whether that be siege tower or what have you, and you might have to extend the amount of time that you spend besieging it, which obviously is not ideal. So that's definitely something to just bear in mind if you yourself are also attacking a Battanian fief. I'm just trying to, you know, give a little bit of, my own experiences and just kind of give you some advice based on that if you need it. Obviously, if you don't need it, then just ignore me. But yes, generally, sometimes it's always a good idea for people to share their own experience, and hopefully that will be a little bit useful. Anyway, I'm going to actually do... Yes, there we go. Take out a couple of these guys. Thank you very much. And we should probably kill that guy. Yes. Ooh, that's a guy we've not seen before. Oh, wow. I literally just took 160... Wait a minute. 123, I think? 123 damage to the head. I did 162 damage to that guy's head. But unfortunately, I've now taken a big hit from that fellow and his thrown weapon, and it is now making things very difficult for us indeed. But hopefully that's not going to make that much of a difference overall, but you never know. Okay, wait a minute. We got to be a bit careful. Unfortunate. I very much wanted to eliminate that higher tier unit. Generally, if I see anyone with a helmet and scale armor or chainmail armor or something like that, I think to myself, oh yes, I very much need to eliminate that fellow, because he's going to be either a banner carrier in obviously this mod, or he's going to be a high tier unit in the base game or in other places. So yeah, like for example this guy, he is as you see right there from his name, he is a standard bearer, and he provides additional morale to his troops. And obviously we want to prevent that as much as possible, because the faster that we can deal damage, the faster that we can reduce their morale to 0, the faster they are going to run away. And that means, well, a reduction in casualties for us, and it generally just means that everything is going to go a lot smoother, and we really don't need to worry too much about having to replenish our ranks. Oh, that was a Sturgian heroic line breaker right there. Okay, was not expecting to see one of those in here. That's a pretty scary enemy, but thankfully I have such a significant amount of one-handed skill at the moment that I really should be able to eliminate most enemies in one hit. And do bear in mind that that is primarily because of this weapon. I don't think I'd be able to do that most of the time, unless you have something that is also piercing or blunt damage to be able to penetrate most of the armor that one of those higher tier units will no doubt have. And that's the reason why, if you are not playing Eagle Rising and if you're playing the base game, I would highly recommend, if you can, to just try and find a mace that is really good. And I'm not even talking about crafting one or anything like that, because in my opinion, I feel like the smithing options for maces, and more specifically two-handed maces, as far as I'm aware, there's basically only I think 1 or 2 options for two-handed maces available in the smithy, which is, in my opinion, an absolute crime, but oh well, never mind. You know, they're going to add stuff later on down the line, hopefully, and we'll see how that goes. But yeah, anyway, we're going to take this guy prisoner, and we're going to be, I think, actually rescuing a lot of these troops. Okay, so here's the thing. All right, my opinion on using enemy units. Generally, I will not do this if I'm doing a thematic playthrough like I'm doing right now, where I'm generally only using Imperium units. I mean, obviously, I'm only using Imperium units because it is easy to get them in your army. It is easy to recruit them. It's super, super simple to find a place where you can even get them from. Whereas every other faction doesn't really have that many places in comparison. So, you know what I mean, obviously. The Imperium has the size of 3 factions. You know, the amount of villages and towns and things like that that you can recruit from is immense in comparison to the amount that you can recruit from, for example, Britannia or Vlandia or something like that. But in this case, because we are, of course, in a warlike situation, and it might be a while until I can effectively recruit people, I'm going to be taking some of these just to bolster my ranks for the moment. And bear in mind that I will be placing them in the garrison at a nearby fief as soon as I possibly can. But for now, considering I'm on the warpath and I need to replace my casualties, I will be attempting to just make do with what I have. Anyway, I am probably going to wait here for some time. You can see here that our friend, Diaska, has taken a lot of damage in regards to her own army, so I'm primarily just using her in my army to increase my leadership skill. That is basically the only reason why she's even there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Sionen real fast. I know that Ragnvad is nearby, however, so if he does appear to besiege Uthelaim Castle, I will obviously go back there as soon as I possibly can, but I am going to be ransoming my prisoners really, really fast. I really don't care about the roguery skill at the moment, even though roguery skill is actually a fantastic skill to have, and I will be the first person to recommend it. What is Zandina wearing? Are you serious right now? Did you see that? Yes, I think we would probably prefer to ignore it, to be honest. But what is this? Tartan pants? I mean, don't get me wrong. She looks good, right? She looks good. She's very very athletic, I guess you could say. But yes, the point is that's kind of amusing. I wonder how that would look on a guy, to be honest. That would look really, really funny. All right, well, whatever the case, I have quite a lot to sell, so let me do that. 12,000 and 16,000. I'm not going to be selling any of this. As I said before, I am going to be doing smithing, but I'm going to be doing that in my off-screen time, and you don't have to worry about that at the moment. I am a little bit worried about my money situation at the moment, so I'm thinking maybe what I'll do is I will go into the tournament here. I'm not sure whether I'll do that right now. Should I? I'm actually thinking maybe yes. So let's go into the tournament. I am at a very low HP level, so maybe that's going to give us a little bit more entertainment, because obviously if I am close to death the entire time, then we will all have something to laugh at when I die instantly. Yes. Anyway, let's see what I can do here. No, don't get shot now. Oh, yeah, using a bow with literally no bow skill, it's one of the most frustrating experiences of my life. But, oh, Zandina is absolutely murdering them. Look at that. Okay, good work. Good work, miss, I guess. Anyway, there you go. Fantastic. That was really, really good. Oh, they're giving me a bow again. Okay, I'm not entirely sure what's going on here, but okay, apparently they really, really love giving me this. Thankfully, I'm avoiding damage at the moment. Nice. Nice headshot. That was a headshot, really? Okay, I'm dead. Okay. Yeah, I've got 2 archers on me. There is no way I'm going to survive this. Nope. I'm dead. Oh, maybe not. Oh. Oh, I'm alive? Oh, okay. Oh no. Okay. Oh, a little bit of damage. Don't run up the hill. Don't run up the hill. I'm gonna slow down. That's gonna be bad. Oh, I didn't do enough. I didn't do enough to eliminate. That is my wife, actually. That is Borgar's wife at the moment. She is no doubt much better at fighting with two-handed than I am. Oh, she's dead. Okay. Woohoo. We got her. Okay. Oh, I cannot believe we won that. Okay. Ooh, now that was nice. Okay, that is one of those times, right? That is one of those times where I just think to myself, whoa, yeah, that was amazing. Very nicely done indeed, Borgar. Okay, he has a two-handed, oh no. Another two-handed axe, okay. Well, technically another two-handed weapon, shall we say. Oh, that was easy. Oh, that was super easy. Zandina is just an absolute tank. Did you see that? She just tanked all the hits, taking no damage whatsoever from whatever was coming in. Okay, that was real nice. Anyway, there you go. Now we are actually up against Zandina herself. We are probably going to have some big difficulties here. She seems like an utter warrior. Oh, never mind. Okay. Yeah, see, now that's the point. Generally, I feel like a really good way of fighting with a two-handed is... well, I don't know whether I can really explain it, but you could kind of see what I was attempting to do there. Basically, trying to use the angle of where I was looking as a way to sort of throw off the opponent. So, for example, if I'm looking in a different direction from them, they're going to think, oh, he's just swinging at air, you know? He's just swinging at air, and they're not going to, you know, and he's not going to hit me. But obviously, because of the angle and the arc of the two-handed weapon, it's hopefully going to be able to hit them on the way through. So if I'm hitting with a right side swing, then it's going to come through and hopefully hit them as I am looking away from them. I mean, it's very difficult for me to explain that when I'm just literally sitting here on this menu, but hopefully that's kind of understandable from just the gameplay and what you saw right there. Anyway, that is literally the first time that we've even used a two-handed, which is really funny. I'm going to go for strong grip, however. We're going to go for on the edge, and we're also going to go for show of strength. Show of strength is always fantastic, knocking people down if you do good damage to them, and I very much like that. Okay, so Uthelaim Castle has now come under siege, as I could expect, by this guy. Really? What a funny guy this dude is. Okay, hello, sir. Yeah, you're gonna die. Oh yes, he's gonna die. There's nothing he can do about this. I'm sorry to say. And this is actually going to be kind of nice because it's been a while since we've done a field battle, and personally, I've missed them. I don't know about you, but I have missed them greatly because generally, when we're running around doing sieges and all kinds of things and tasks and tournaments and stuff like that, you know, you need a little bit of a field battle to sort of spice things up, and it's always fun to ride around on your horse and do a little bit of crossbow shooty stuff. So yeah, that kind of helps a little bit. So yeah, we're gonna just put our people in these positions. I'm gonna tell my cavalry to charge in right here. I generally think we're gonna be fine because obviously we outnumber the opponent quite considerably. That was some nice damage right there, and we gained a level up. Oh yeah, by the way, I did actually level up in my off-screen time, I think, or did I level up in the previous episode? I am not entirely sure where I got the focus point and the attribute point from, but I placed the point in cunning. I put the attribute point into cunning, and I put the focus point into leadership, because obviously at the moment I do have an army up and running, so it kind of makes sense for me to try and maximize the amount of leadership I'm going to gain while I have it available, you know what I mean? Because sometimes I'm going to, well, sometimes, shall we say, I'm going to have to release the other vassal that is in my, well, under my command at the moment, and, you know, then I'm not going to be able to get any further leadership. However, as one of you has rightly pointed out, or maybe a couple of you have said this, I'm actually not entirely sure, but generally, you've reminded me that it's a really good idea to create parties out of companions. And yes, I was actually planning on doing that the whole time, but at the time of when I was actually wanting to create an army, I had no companions in my army, and obviously if I am not near friendly territory, in other words, if I'm not near Amprila or Razich or Husn Fulk or any of my towns, it's going to be very difficult for me to split my forces in enemy territory and still expect to maintain the same combat strength. Because if you think about how that works, then obviously I'm basically just diverting my own strength and placing it in the hands of people that I'm not entirely sure if they're going to be doing a good job with them, you know what I mean? So it's kind of being a little bit careful about that. So that's one of the main reasons, and obviously because I didn't have them at the time. Anyway, we've defended Uthelaim Castle. So here's the thing. If I go back to Amprila, because that is mine. Yeah, by the way, Razich is currently under siege. So, yeah, I thought I'd just update you on that, because obviously if you see it and it's been taken, then you'll know exactly what happened. I don't know who's besieging it. I can only assume it's the Azurai, of course, but I really don't know who from the Azurai is doing that. So that's obviously going to be a little bit problematic. Anyway, we did level up, and I'm going to be putting one last point into leadership. I think that kind of makes sense. And we are now otherwise going to be placing points into cunning. I know I said I'd put some more points into smithing and things like that, but I really felt like just maxing out leadership at the moment would probably be a little more useful, at least at the moment. Obviously, I am going to be leveling up more. I am level 29, so it is still not a case of running out of experience gain, and I am hopefully going to be able to do something quite nice once that happens. Anyway, let's have a look. Okay, so we're going to be voting for the owner of Uthelaim Castle. Who needs... Oh, no one. Okay, yeah, I'm just going to abstain from the vote. There's really no point, because everyone really likes us already. Alright, so one thing that I actually really want to do as well, by the way, which I'm not entirely sure how I can make work without engaging people, and that is to make friends in other factions. Because if I take a look here, and I look at, for example, all of my friends, they're all from the Southern Imperium, apart from Monchug, which I find very amusing indeed, because I would not have expected an enemy ruler to literally be my one and only friend from an alternate faction. So yeah, that's a little strange, but whatever the case, let's move on to Cranarog Castle, because that is where I'm going to be taking things next. As we see here, there are 220 defenders in the army there, and that should be quite nice. Anyway, we're going to be leveling up the Dryatic Bowman into a Dryatic Marksman. That sounds pretty nice to me. And we're also going to be getting some trained Spearmen, and we will also get Dryatic Archers, I guess. We're just going to make them into more ranged kind of characters, at least at the moment, while they are still part of my army. Anyway, so hopefully I'm going to get to 125 in leadership. I did take the Legendary Commander Renown increasing perk in the leadership tree, and in my opinion that's super nice, because that gives me 50% additional renown every single time we achieve victory, which I gotta say, I personally feel is just insane. The amount of gain that you can get for renown and advancing your clan tier, it really makes an overwhelming difference. It really does. Anyway, let's have a look here. I'm gonna just move up to the... Oh dear. I did not want to do that. Well, thankfully I didn't take too much damage, but I mean... sorry, Borgar. Sorry about that, sir. Look at him. Look at his unblinking eyes. Look at those unblinking eyes. He really... He's had enough, you know. Oh, no, he blinked. Oh, my. Look at that. Oh, that is very creepy. Okay, that is very creepy. Sorry, Borgar. I didn't mean to call you creepy, but you are very creepy. Okay, so let's move on. And let's not talk about how creepy his staring is. Oh, yes, indeed. All right, so let me see what I can do. Oh, this is a okay. This might be very difficult for us. This is a two-stage siege. This is one of those sieges where the enemy is basically just allowing you to have the first line of defense, and then them having a much greater defense deeper into the keep, which I gotta say is very smart. But it is potentially quite a damaging strategy for them, but also for us, so it might very well result in us not being able to take it. Very much dependent on troop variety, of course. There we go, not too bad. Alright, yeah, so generally leveling up is going to be a bit more difficult now, but I'm very much hoping that I'll be able to do that. Maybe I just need to use a two-handed weapon a little bit more. I've got to be really careful here as well, because there are enemies behind me as well as in front. Oh, they were behind me, but apparently they're going around here. You know, somehow I think that the I think the environment was not meant to be used this way. I'm pretty sure you're not meant to go this way, right? But apparently you are able to, which is quite amusing. I think that you're not supposed to be able to do that. I think you probably should have to go through the tower here, but I assume the AI has just been given the go-ahead to do that because maybe, I don't know, maybe they get stuck or something like that otherwise. I don't know. It just feels a bit shortcut-ish, which I think is fine. Don't get me wrong. I feel like, you know, being able to go over here, that seems pretty natural to me. But obviously, from a strategic standpoint, I just have no idea why the wall wouldn't extend outward to here. Do you know what I mean? So the stairs are about this width from where I am to the edge. You know? I feel like that would make much more sense in a sort of tactical standpoint rather than making them so incredibly wide. Because, I mean, if you're going to form a bottleneck, I mean, yeah, I think it would be a lot easier to do it this way, because then you would have the ability to shut out enemy units with just two people standing in front here and just stabbing away like so. That would be, I don't know. I mean, I don't know why I'm even suggesting making it more difficult, to be honest. Just ignore me. Just ignore me. Yes. Don't change the siege. Thank you. Thank you very much. I would not appreciate that. Oh, what did I just do? Oh no. Yeah, next thing you know, they're going to change the siege and they're going to make it exactly what I said, and then no one's going to be able to take this castle. I mean, obviously that's not going to happen. I'm joking. But you know, that would be funny. All right, so there you go. We gain 105 renown. Super nice to see that. And we can take some more prisoners as well. There we go. Oh yes, we're getting some pretty nice gear right here. And speaking of gear, Zandina, can I finally give you some? No, I still cannot give her any better stuff at the moment, which is not exactly great. Okay, well, show mercy. I'm not going to claim the fief. As I said before, I'm basically not going to be claiming pretty much anything. I'm going to help Rajaya in this particular fight, however. I am literally just going to go and auto-resolve this. There is really no point in me heading in here. You know what? I should really start letting people go. But at the moment, I'm not really doing the greatest in regards to our money situation. So that's the main reason why I'm actually taking people prisoner to begin with. Because obviously, if I take people prisoner, I have the greater chance of being able to basically, well, afford to continue going on here, you know, because if I sell them, then they're going to give me about 5,000-6,000. That's about 3 days worth of wages, which in my opinion is actually pretty amazing. So yeah, I'm kind of happy with that. Anyway, I'm just going to vote for Rajay here just to get her to 100 relation. I feel like that kind of makes sense. And otherwise, I'm going to go over to Sionan here as well and just sell my prisoners and all that wonderful stuff. And maybe, just maybe, I will buy. Yeah, I mean, look at that. Look at my prisoners selling for 17,000 right there. Super nice. Anyway, we're gonna sell this, and what I'm actually gonna do is I will be going back in and seeing if I can maybe get some better armor for Zandina, because I've had enough of this. I mean, she looks good. Don't worry about that. She does look good, but generally, I feel like it makes her look a bit too much like a superhero because she has the cape. And she just needs to wear, you know, some underpants on the outside of her pants, and then she'll look exactly like a superhero indeed. Yeah, it's probably not the best idea. Okay, so let me see. What can I get her? 35,000, rough scale mail. I kind of still want her to move around really, really fast. So I'm thinking I'm going to try and get something that is relatively light, but also kind of cheap as well. That looks like a cool mask. Oh my. That actually, look at this. It literally reduces the enemy's morale. I feel like I want to use that. Alright. I don't know why that happened. Yes. I literally came in here thinking, I'm going to buy my companion some gear. And then I end up buying some gear for myself. Yes, indeed. Okay, so there you go. She looks a little... Oh, what is going on with her boots? Okay, I'm going to need to do something with that as well. There we are. That's better. Okay, fantastic. Now she looks... What is... Wait. You... Look at... Okay. Yeah, well, that's obviously a modeling issue, right? That's obviously a modeling issue. Look at the arms. You see that? That is... I gotta say, I feel like that's actually hilarious. I'm gonna leave it like that. Primarily because I think that's very, very funny. And I am going to wear this mask. Oh, wow. Okay, that actually looks mighty cool. I love this. I think that looks amazing. And it actually really fits with our current sort of color coordination going on here. I feel like it fits quite nicely. Obviously, it is a very different theme to our other armor, but I feel like it fits nice. I don't know. It feels like it's really good. Anyway, yeah, we're going to just give her this new helmet, and I'm just going to swap around a bunch. What? These shoes are actually really good? They really don't seem like it, to be honest. Okay, so Dranga is going to be wearing these, apparently. And there you go. They were actually better than Era's as well, which is an absolute crime. I have no idea how that could even happen, but there we go. We just spent 21,000, and we are going to be reducing the enemy's morale by 5, which is really weird in my opinion, but it's so cool. I love that. Yes, that's the kind of thing that I actually would like to see more often as well, by the way. I don't know about you, but for me specifically, whenever you are looking at a piece of armor and you think to yourself, whoa, that looks kind of scary, or oh, that looks really glorious and heroic, or something along those lines. I don't know. I mean, obviously talking about potential legendary weapons here as well, legendary equipment and things like that. So I'm not really saying that this should turn into sort of like a fantasy game or anything like that, but what I'm saying is it might be really cool to have a quest that has you trying to find a legendary something or other, and there's a whole mythos behind it, and you think to yourself, whoa, that's a crazy cool story, crazy nice background and lore and all that wonderful stuff, and then you eventually find it, and the thing has a small bonus, basically just a way for you to gain a small benefit from it, and something like what I've just gotten, something that gives me, you know, a disadvantage to the enemy's morale, or increases my own unit's morale, or something along those lines. Or maybe if I have, I don't know, maybe if I'm playing Eagle Rising, for example, I have like a, I don't know, a codex or something, or some kind of, I don't know, some kind of text or documentation or something like that that basically refers to tactical combat, or a very specific strategy that people can use in warfare situations, and that's going to increase my tactic skill, for example. You know, very, very realistic depictions of stat increases. That's basically what I am attempting to convey here, because obviously I'm not thinking about stuff like, you know, I'm not thinking about stuff like just some magical stuff like you put on these gloves and then all of a sudden you're able to shoot fireballs out of your eyes or something. No, I'm not thinking about anything like that, but that would still be cool in other mods, obviously. That would be cool in other mods. But yeah, I'm basically just saying I think those kinds of realistic, quote-unquote, benefits would be really, really nice, and that would be kind of fun. All right, I'm actually going to go and do Leader of the Masses. I feel like that's actually quite nice, because increase party size by +5 for each town you control, and heroes generate shared experience. I mean, obviously at the moment I do have heroes in my party, and I'm going to be continuing to keep Era in our party as well, but generally I feel like the party size is going to be kind of useful as well. So if I do end up creating my own faction, which personally I didn't have any plans to do in this particular series, but some people have been asking whether I'm going to be doing that, and I just thought I'd address it now and basically say, well, there are no plans for me to currently do that, primarily because my main goal, as I think I mentioned this, but maybe I only mentioned it once, or maybe you missed it, I don't know. But whatever the case, my main goal in this series was to unite the Imperium. basically to eliminate the other Imperium factions, fighting off any other potential invaders along the way, and attempting to unify us into one Imperium. That's basically what I was trying to do. Well, that was the initial goal at least, and I think we may have strayed off that goal somewhat, because obviously we've been attacked numerous times by other people, and that kind of it kind of makes things a little bit more complicated, obviously. But in that way, I think that actually is kind of cool, because it's very realistic in the way that works, obviously, because people are gonna inevitably get involved in those internal conflicts, you know, and whether it's a civil war or whether it's something else, then obviously that's going to happen. Anyway, this is going to be a bit problematic. I don't really... Ow. I don't think I'm going to be able to do this. Can I... Yes, thank you. Okay, yes, yes. Do you want to appear here? If you want to appear here, sir, you will have to deposit the booking fee. Thank you. Yes, no. He is definitely depositing the booking fee in the form of murder on my face. There we go, yes. Okay, wait a minute. I gotta be real careful here. I'm gonna get shot one more time, maybe. I'm not sure if it's gonna kill me. No, I didn't? I didn't get shot one more time. Okay, very, very interesting. I really thought I was, but apparently not. Oh, the damage. The damage is so nice from this weapon, it really is. Yeah, so obviously this is basically a done deal right now, because generally we are, of course, outnumbering the opponent. They have a very small amount of high-tier units, and generally they're not particularly going to be able to form too much of a resistance at the moment. So we should be able to take this no problem at all. And the main reason why I'm basically taking all the castles at the moment is so that the enemy has a wide variety of different targets to go after, while I target some of their more valuable fiefs, and I'm talking about their towns, obviously. Because if I go straight for their towns, it's literally going to drain us of a lot of combat strength, and as a result, it's then going to, reduce the ability for us to be able to mobilize an effective enough force, basically, to be able to move on and continue taking things. And if we were to do that, then obviously it's going to be one of those times where I literally just do one siege, take the town, and then literally run away. And that's basically all I can do. And that's really not going to really help matters at all. Anyway, I'm just going to wait here for some time. I could donate some troops here, but I don't think I'm going to do that just yet. I'm just going to wait here and make sure that my forces are all good. Yeah, it seems like they are all fine. I'm going to go to Sionon once again. And as I said before, if anything gets taken back, that's really not a big deal. That really is not a big deal. We don't have to worry about that, because if it gets taken back, I can just really quickly retake it. Very, very fast, as you see right here. Bannerlord Castle and Uthelaim Castle, they've both been taken back, which is absolutely fine, because they're going to place very small, very weak garrisons in there, and I'll be able to do that no problem whatsoever. And we've also got to bear in mind that every single time I do one of these sieges, I am gaining massive amounts of money as well as experience for my troops, and as a result, I am going to be increasing my overall combat strength, and that combat strength is then going to be used to snowball even further to where we want to be, where we can actually take these towns with minimal casualties. That's kind of the whole goal in regards to that. Anyway, I'm going to go for perfect health, because food variety increases recovery rate by 5%. I think that actually sounds super nice. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.